Welcome back. Whoops. Let's welcome back anyway to Satisfactory. Last episode we were gonna put together a little power augmenter and do some searching around for it, and that is actually the responsible thing to do, but I think we need the encased beams. We'll do the exploration tomorrow. All right, I'm just going to type E-beams because I'm having a heck of a time here. And then we'll build the factory. And then we'll do some overclocking. Okay. Uh-oh, we're missing concrete. Technically, I should go out of my way to have all this stuff in my inventory before we begin, but when it's time to play Satisfactory, you just want to play Satisfactory. And we're gonna build this tower somewhere in this area, since we already have lots of concrete ready to go and steel beams are right by it, so this is the ideal place. It'll just be a starter factory, it won't be huge. And then maybe we'll find a way to move all these starter factories out to a single truck station that'll bring in all of those extras. Maybe like a little truck station area, so that way all the starter factory stuff doesn't go to waste. Is hard to say, but you know, we want to make sure we're constantly making use of that if we're not going to delete it. And we know we're not going to delete it. That much we know for sure. Two in and one out. What else could we possibly need besides rotors? All right, let's make a little room. This is, of course, how you end up with tiny little storage containers full of little bits of things that you forget about. I'd love to squeeze another one in here, but that doesn't seem likely. think we need to split again over here. So that's kind of the basics. That might be all we do. I could make this a short. Maybe give ourselves a little bit of room. I guess technically I should connect this more traditionally. It's 8. 8 is a little up. And I think 8 the hard way is a little down. There might not be a good way to do this. Cannot be connected to world buildables. What are you talking about? Something like that, and then maybe a little power, and we're close to done. We'll do the facade as part of a separate build. Let's see. We got plenty of concrete, so I'm not worried about that. 18 steel beams. Or how many encased industrial beams can we make? It's a slow recipe. I'm thinking each one of these is 36. I think the absolute fastest is 1 belt's worth, which is 480. So 480 divided by 36. 13 of these? Oof, that's a lot. It's shorter than the rest, so it's not quite as much. Oh yeah, I guess we better connect the output. Whoops. That would have been bad. But a level above us goes out, down, in, merges with this, and then goes down to the level below us. Okay. So we're talking 14 of these. This is the E-beam. Stackable. Internal only. I guess I should do 14. 13.333 repeating. $1,300. Well, the nice part is we can build this on the way. I kind of like the idea of it being over here somewhere. And I guess technically I'm going to need more than 4 of these. I'm probably going to need like 5 or 6. Either way, it's going to be more than 4. Can these go here? Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is 5 enough? I mean, 6 would be better. Uh-oh, did I cover those entry points? I did. So now we're at 6, right? Not bad. Then this should give us, what, 4x4? With exactly 1 foundation walking space. Of course, if we make this the decorative space, it's really not going to be 1 foundation's worth. I guess if we keep it kind of tight, it'll be fine. Uh-oh, what have I done here? Wait, what have I done here? Is this blueprint just not ready? Let me take a look at it. I might have skipped a step. Possible I forgot to connect one of the resources. Yes. How? Ah. Ooh, that would have been bad. Okay, we're gonna totally rework this. I thought I was connecting to this output, or this conveyor wall hole, but I was actually connecting to this. Yeah, that would have been really bad. Let's just go straight out like this. That's better. It's the advantage of being able to test. Oh, you know what? We should probably put a roof on this thing. Just so the pieces aren't just floating. Now I think we're ready. Oh, do I not have my sword on me? Uh-oh. This is inconvenient. Let's put a little side. Just so we don't create any hard to find dismantle crates. I hate hard to find dismantle crates. Who knows how this is going to connect? I mean, this one's pretty easy. But why are you going that direction? You know what? They are really trying to get me to put this in incorrectly, but we are not going to have it. Feels like we need to go a little lower or taller. I can't tell. Somewhere in here. No, that needs to be a little taller. Now it needs to be a little shorter. I think we'll just put it kind of under here like this. I'm not trying to totally hide it. I just don't necessarily want it to be a prominent feature of the building. All of this is going to be locked away. Now, how do I want to get... This line right here is actually the storage line. The concrete that you put out for the purposes of quick pickup. Currently, that's my only output line. You know what? I might not have enough concrete planned for this. It's actually a lot of concrete. Yeah, it's twice as much concrete as is steel beams. So that's actually 480. So it's 32 times 2. Times 2, which is 72. And then 480 divided by 72. Yeah, we really should only build 7 of these. That makes our to-do list a lot easier. I know there's a snap point somewhere here that we can use. Of course, now we need more encased beams. I think what I'll do is I'll grab some encased beams so we can connect this factory and then use the connected factory amount of encased beams for the purposes of finishing up the build. On-site production, as they call it. Or maybe I just made that up. Who knows? No summer sloops nearby. That actually might not be enough. Just a couple hundred. This has potential. I think it's going to look cool when we're done. Do I want the steel beams that... You know what? While we're here, let's do a little overclocking, because this is obviously... could make use of some more steel or some more coal. And we've got a halfway decent coal mine over here. We're already using a chunk of it for our compacted coal. Oh, what a data crash. I'll be right back. Normally I try to recover after a crash, but I just wanted to show you where it actually saved. Right in the middle of this hypertube. Or this hypercannon. And I don't know if we can get out of here. I need to nudge myself. Uh-oh. This was a joke, but now I can't get out. I guess that you can always get out if you're willing to delete. This is actually not an ideally placed hypercannon anyway. So like I was saying, we can overclock this coal mine right up to our belt speed. But in order to fully use that, we're gonna need encased beams. Ugh. Everything is demanding encased beams. Yeah, I think we should save our encased beams for trying to get this connected. Blueprints. Surely we have something for this. Steel belt level 2. It is only a steel belt though. That might actually be okay. Steel belt level 2. Here we go. We'll use this to sketch it out. Okay, crash number 2. Give me a second, I'll be right back. Okay, we're back at it. I think I'll angle this one so we can sort of turn this one in a little easier. Now we just got to connect the appropriate stuff. Come on. Why is this one angled so much differently than the other one? You know what? That's something I'm not going to worry about. Though it is going to bother me. But I'm not going to worry about it. Alright, so that's actually ready to be connected. I mean, I could just peel one of these off. My original plan was to do this, but of course you run the risk of it not working out until it's totally full. Oh boy. Just perfect like that, and we'll just run this belt. Bing bam boom, it's in. Uh-oh. This is clipping. You know what? We'll just run it And then at some point we'll switch it. Or, I guess technically, it's simpler to switch it here. Much simpler, in fact. Yeah, and then we'll just run this on the bottom. I'm glad we figured that out before it got a little out of control. If I get rid of this foundation piece, I could connect this with the blueprint instead. I really need to watch myself. I am really focused on making some, like going through and upgrading a bunch of belts only to find out that I'm actually creating a ton of dismantle crates. Basically, I'm saying let's leave ourselves some room in our inventory. Downside is I have no real input buffer for the steel beams. That might have to be okay for now. We'll walk up and then have a little place where you can pick up encased beams in bulk. Technically, though, this is probably best for an uploader. I'm gonna steal the uploader from our current Encased beams factory. Mostly it's a test bench, but you know what I mean. Oh, hold on. We don't have a... Our Encased beam factory doesn't have an uploader. Ugh. That's bad. We can take the steel beam one, because we have one for the steel beam side. Right, and then we'll use the digital uploader to capture all the steel beam goodness, Encased steel beam goodness. Even if we only have a drip feed of steel beams to make it with. You know, we should probably have this on a traditional split, so that way we're not setting ourselves up to always have one get loaded and the other one get ignored. Actually, I guess we could connect all of this. We do technically have 3 more of these to build out. I think a very slight amount of upgrade here makes a lot of sense. So we can get that coal over to the steel beam. Over to that steel beam factory right there. I don't know if I want to upgrade this whole line here. It might be enough for me right now to say that it's full. Per minute. Kind of a pitiful use of an overclocking shard, but it wouldn't hurt my feelings to have at least one of these be very happy. Then we'll do the old Summer Sloop duplicator. As long as it keeps it right around 4 per. Okay, I think that's working. The only thing wrong with this is that there's not an easy way to really inject an absolute massive amount. We could probably manufacture a way to do that. And then we'll just empty out. Jump back over here. Take all. Take all. Drop this in here. That'll allow that. Just gives us a quick boost of steel beams for the purposes of making our just gives us an initial boost here of the good stuff.
I don't know, have a good day.
Gotta make sure there's not one little piece of belt in those transition areas that is the old version. Oh, these are Mark 1 lifts? No wonder they're so slow. Congrats to me for actually checking that. That could have been one of those things where you're wondering 2 weeks from now, why aren't we making enough encased beams? Let's put in a ladder. Ooh, we're pushing an hour. We might be able to knock these last 3 out. Boy, we just did not pick the right location for this. I think that's all working. And then we just gotta power this. Looks like it's taking concrete a little while to make its way in. At this point, though, I would expect some concrete to make its way up here. Oh, there it is. I guess that's the downside of this build-out type, is that you're on a pure manifold. And by the time you get up to the top, it 50%, 50%, 50%, 50%, 50%, 50%, 50%, 50%. Yeah, the concrete is flowing. Let me get everybody started and then we'll call it. First couple levels are doing great. I just want all of these to get going, you know? I don't want to wait for them to divide it up amongst themselves. That actually looks pretty good. The only thing I might change is this entry point. Other than that, I think there's some potential here. And most importantly, we've added halfway decent amount. Not a ton, right? Because we're only dealing with 14 of those. Let's look at the numbers one more time and then we'll call it. 36, so it's 72, 480 divided by 72. 6.6 times 6.6 times 2 times 6. So 80 per minute. It's not a huge amount, but it's enough to get us through most builds. And then eventually we'll belt that out to something where we can put it on a truck and then just use it for the rest of the factory. I am not a delete your starter factory kind of guy. And then I think if we build a nice 4x4 facade on this, we'll be ready to go, and done is and done is and done. You know, it could be fun to put a corner on this that's different than the other sides. But you know what? We're getting into design. We don't want to do that right now because we want to say thanks for hanging out. I do appreciate it. We'll see you next time.